Good morning, everybody. It's Susho. I got a new webcam because the other one that I had was kind of conking out. It would work for a little bit and then it would start flickering, and I wasn't sure if it was mine, and it turns out it was. So I got this new one and I haven't used it before. So today's the first day I was trying to set it up, and I'm not sure about the color. I feel like I almost look a little bit ghostly, but we will just go with that. Um, yeah, I'll have to check the quality of it after. It was supposed to be a good one, so we'll see. Hopefully, no flickering. Um, but how are you doing this morning? How are you feeling? Are you guys feeling good? Are you having a good May so far? Let me know, and let me know if you can see me and hear me when you come on. I'm just gonna check in the event, make sure that I am live there. Okay. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the fear of selling. It's hard to have a business if you don't sell, right? Unless you're going to hire a full-time salesperson or somebody to do the sales for you. In that case, you do not need today's live. But the vast majority of people will not have the budget for that, especially at the beginning. So you need to learn how to sell. And it's also a good skill to have just because it builds your confidence. If you are afraid of selling, there is a deep-seated reason for that, right? So let me ask you some questions about if you feel these ways about selling. So when you think about making your offer, do you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel shy? Do you feel awkward? Do you feel like you are kind of pushy for putting it out there more than one time, say? Do you feel like you just don't want to be salesy? You don't want to push something on someone that they might not want? Are you afraid of somebody telling you no? Are you afraid of somebody saying, that's too expensive? Are you scared of someone even getting angry at you for making a pitch? So let me know what your feelings are about selling. You can leave them in the comments. So these are really common, really common, all of them, and I've experienced some of them myself, and I've also um, seen them with my clients, especially at the beginning, before working with me. So very common, but they're changeable. They're very changeable. So I'm going to give you a quick story about when I had my first big business, when I employed a lot of people. I had a brick and mortar catering business and bakery, and it had a lot of different facets to it. We did events, we did weddings for a little bit, we did other kinds of catering meetings. I sold retail, so people would come in and buy baking. For a while, I even did breakfasts there, so people could come and sit in a little cafe. We did big festivals. We did tons and tons of stuff, and many employees, full time and part time. So when I had that business, I felt at first, I mean, I grew a lot better with this, but at first I felt so awkward about selling. I thought, like, okay, my stuff sells itself. It's cookies. They're amazing. Like try it. You're gonna want to buy it. But it's not that simple, right? Like, just because your product is amazing, and I'm sure all your products are amazing, it doesn't mean it's that simple to get somebody to buy. People have to see things over and over again. So that's why you need to get comfortable with selling so that you can do it more often. Because if you're not selling, making offers regularly, you're not going to get the sales. Um, unless you're very down the road and you're super automated. But even then, you're constantly putting offers out there. So it's something you need to do, like, all the time. This is not something that you do at the beginning and then you kind of slack off on. You need to keep putting yourself out there and keep making sales. Um, so with my bakery business, at first, when I would have people try things, they were like, oh, it's so good. It's better than the stuff I'm already selling in my cafe. And I was like, sweet, like, that's a no-brainer. Like, these are organic, using good ingredients. And I knew I did my research. I knew what the competition was. I knew my stuff was unique. I knew my ingredient sources. Like, it was good. I knew it was good quality, the whole thing. Um, but people get set in their ways, right? And they don't necessarily like to make a change. So even if it's a change that's positive, so even if it's something like you are selling them a supplement that can vastly improve their health, right? Or you're selling a different type of makeup that is going to be, stay on the whole day instead of having to reapply, or, getting like raccoon eyes at 2 p.m. So you're selling them something that's better than what they have, but sometimes that doesn't matter. Like, you can't just sell it one time or make the offer one time and have people buy. So what I had to do was I had to keep putting the offer out there. Keep putting the offer out there, keep following up. And once they got in with me, they were like super ecstatic. Their customers were, they're like, this is way better than what you had before. So it was great. And then, continuous business from there, and then referrals and all that kind of stuff. But it takes work, right? It takes work. Like, that was not like, it's not always just you have an amazing product, so it's a no-brainer for people to buy it. It's not that simple. You have to still make the offers. Okay, so what can you do if you hate doing this? You know that you still have to make offers, right, regularly. But what can you do if you hate doing this? First of all, you can do it in an authentic way that feels good to you. So you don't have to do it in, like a bro marketing way. Like, being a coach, I know what other coaches are out there. I'm aware of the industry, and I am generally very turned off by bro marketing coaches. Like, I see them, they show up sometimes in my feed, as ads, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, I would never hire them. Like, it's so not for me. It's so not my thing. So don't do something that's out of your comfort zone. If I tried to bro market, like, I would feel like, because that's what they're showing you how to do, right? Like, their systems are showing you, follow this, and then you'll get the same kind of success that we have, right? So if I followed their bro marketing tactics, like, I would feel horrible. It would not work with me. It would not feel authentic. It would not come across authentically. It wouldn't resonate with anybody, because it's clear if you're uncomfortable, if it's not your thing. So you need to find your own way and your own voice. And something that we can do with this is something that in general used to make me very uncomfortable. Okay, so I like being up here. I like being in my head. I like being analytical. I like being in my brain, rational, all that kind of stuff. This is my comfort zone. So body stuff, body work, is not my comfort zone. Dropping down into the body and feeling the feelings, that's something that I've done a lot of work on over the years and practiced a ton to get where I am. And it's a much better place, and it's definitely something that's so important, and it integrates your whole self. I knew I couldn't stay up here, but this was my comfort zone. So let me know if thinking things through and being overly analytical, if that's your comfort zone. Because if you're feeling scared about selling, sure, we can reason with it all we want. We can talk about all the techniques and dissect it and go through the mindset pieces, and that's important too. But unless there's also some kind of body integration, it's not fully going to release. So let me know what your comfort zone is. Just gonna say, oh, hi, good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Bethany. And I don't know who that last person's name. I don't know how to pronounce that. It starts with a K. Hi to you too. So I learned this through my own mentors, my own coaches, in person and online. And there's a lot of different reading, different work. I've taken workshops, I've taken courses on this, and So something I want to try with you today is something that is now in my comfort zone and has been for years, but early on was not at all. I was taught to be like methodical, logical, all that kind of stuff, and kind of to ignore the body, right? I was kind of taught to ignore the body and ignore symptoms or ignore signs that my body was telling me. I was taught to push that down. So let me know if that sounds like something that you relate to. So, first of all, I want to have you drop in the comments, and if you're watching this later, you can type hashtag replay and you can still play along. But I want you to drop a number between 1 and 10 with how much how comfortable do you feel with selling right now? So 1 is like heck no, like I would pay you right now to sell for me because I hate doing it. And 10 is I love selling. I feel so comfortable. I can put it out there all the time because it's just natural to me, no problem. So that's 10. Number 1 is heck no. Number 10 is hell yeah. Heck yeah. um, so let me know what number you have. When I started my business, my other business, like 15 years ago, it was a long time ago, I would have been definitely not at a 1. I still, was really excited about my business and believed in it, but I was probably somewhere, I'd say 4 or 5, like not very high. So Sarah is saying scared of people criticizing your product and doubting your abilities. Yeah, 4. That's about what I was at the beginning with my bakery. And now I would say I'm at a 9 or a 10. I am very comfortable with offering my coaching packages, and I just love putting offers out there because I know that I will connect with the right people that way. And the more I offer, the more women I can help. Ultimately, that's what it's about: is finding the best connected people, mutually connected, and then propelling them forwards. And the changes that I've seen from the women that have gone through my programs. So I've got the blogging boot camp, and I have clarity, confidence, and sales, and that's what it sounds like. It's all about getting comfortable and figuring out how the best way is for you to sell your product. So it's using specific strategy, but also the mindset piece, and seeing how far people come in the 12 weeks. It's mind blowing, and I've had people say to me that it's been like life changing, and so that's what keeps me going, gives me the confidence to keep offering, because I know how much it can change people's lives. And it doesn't have to be a coaching program, right? It can be this like mind-blowing product, and it can be entertainment value. It doesn't have to be a specific type of thing. It can be life-changing in lots of different ways. So yeah, okay, so how do we get to feeling better than a 4? So a lot of this is the mindset piece, right? Thinking it through, being logical. But right now we're going to do some body work. So what I want you to do right now is take a couple deep breaths. And I want you to close your eyes or not close your eyes, whatever. I want you to picture making an offer right now. So I want you to picture offering your product or your service. Giving your pitch, like asking somebody if they would like to buy it. So let's be really concrete here. And how does that make you feel in your body? So I want you to really focus on your body and think, where in my body do I feel a sensation? If it's bringing up some uncomfortable feelings, where do I feel them? So for me, depending on when I have done this exercise in the past, it could be in different places. So maybe it's like butterflies in your stomach. Like maybe it feels uncomfortable there. You've got this like nervous feeling. Maybe it's in your chest. It kind of feels like constricted or sort of squeezy. For me, at different times, I'd say about a decade ago, I felt definitely a constriction in my throat. When I would think of something I was afraid of or selling or whatever, it was a tightness in my throat, and it really relates a lot to not feeling comfortable with your own voice, not feeling comfortable with your own words. So I felt that tightness, that kind of choky feeling, very uncomfortable. You know, you might feel a headache or jaw tension. There's lots of different places that you can feel this fear. Okay, so Sarah's saying fight or flight chest area. Yeah, like there's, you know, some people like hold all the tension in their shoulders, or some people don't even realize it, but you're actually gripping your hands during the day. There's no reason to have your hands like this, like you're gonna punch somebody. You know, there's no reason for that. Like that shows you that your body is not relaxed, right? Like our hands don't naturally do that. Our jaw doesn't naturally clench. Um, so these are signs in your body, and it for me this is a practice that I do every day. Not necessarily now related to selling because I've worked through it a lot. It's the selling and offering comes more naturally. But it's still really good for me to practice checking in every single day. So because I'm so mind focused, I need to remind myself every day, okay, how is my body actually feeling? How's my body feeling? Where am I holding tension right now? So when you've identified where that tense feeling is in your body, when you're, you know, when you're nervous about selling, you're nervous about making your offer, you're scared that people are going to say no, you're scared they're, you know, they're going to think you're pushy, they're going to change what they think about you if they're a friend, you're afraid of turning them off or making them feel uncomfortable, so that makes you feel uncomfortable, you know, lots of things. So feel that area in your body again, and just take some deep breaths into that part. You know, so if it's all the way down into your stomach, take some deep belly breaths. If it's in your chest, take some big diaphragm breaths so that it really fills your chest area, your lungs, with a lot of air, with a lot of new oxygen, and then breathe out slowly. Same thing for me when it was in my throat area. Really feel the air coming in. So, you know, sit with this for a couple of minutes instead of just pushing through it. Like, I'm someone, again, who wanted to push through this. I was like, okay, let's just get this part over with so I can go on to, like, the parts that I'm comfortable with. But this is the point. The point is breathing through the discomfort. Because if you let that discomfort be there and you breathe through it, it will move. It doesn't want to be stuck. It doesn't want to be stuck, but it wants your attention. And it's going to stay stuck there for longer if you're not paying attention to it. And it can often turn into like somatic issues. So it can turn into longer term chronic, you know, or acute whatever body problems. So migraines or lots of things, you know, stomach issues. Lots of things are, we know this, that are caused by stress. So letting yourself have that time where you feel that fear, you feel that awkwardness, because awkwardness is not just a feeling that's up in here. Awkwardness is a body feeling. So if I'm feeling awkward, you know, am I feeling like my stomach is like, oh, it just feels so tense, like I feel like I just want to shrink, you know? Okay, so breathe into that awkward feeling. And then now again, think about how comfortable you feel to make an offer. Once you've given yourself some time to really breathe into your body and really just get present and grounded in your own body. So maybe you have gone from a 3 or a 4 to maybe now you're at a 5, maybe you're at a 6. So let me know if this has changed anything in your body. You can drop another number in the comments if it's changed anything. And if it hasn't, that's okay. It will, you know, so don't be discouraged. All you need to do then is, I'm going to ask you again to think about making an offer. Think about putting an offer out there right now. And then where, again, do you feel this in your body? Something that's interesting that can come up is sometimes the tense feelings can start lower down. And then when you ask yourself this and you breathe into that area, sometimes the tense area can move up. So that means it's being released. So it can go from, you know, a tight chest or a tight stomach up to, you know, a constricted throat. And then maybe it will move to jaw tension or a headache or something. And then it can be released. So it's giving your body a chance to move through this. And the more you do this, the more time you give yourself, you're going to release the fear. So it's not reasoning yourself out of the fear. We have fear for reasons, right? Like there are reasons why you're scared of selling. And they're probably not just based on your present feelings. There might have been something that happened in your past. You might have had a bad experience. You might have had somebody tell you something about selling or sales that you thought, oh, I never want to become that. So you might have your own thoughts about what you're bringing to selling. That's all fine, and that's, a mindset piece that we also go into in my program. But right now, it's dealing with the body part, the body component. So it's not, if those thoughts start coming in, and they do with me. If you're a thinker, they will. So don't worry about that. Just let it go. Say, okay, I'll address that later. Thank you. I'll address that later. Don't be angry at your mind for doing that. That's what minds do. Thanks for the information. Deal with it later, and then just go back to the sensation in your body. Okay, when I think of selling, where do I feel it? Oh, I feel it now, kind of in my solar plexus. Okay, so breathe in there. So do this exercise. You can do this exercise in general every day. It doesn't, I'm drawing it out a little bit right now just to explain it if this is the first time you've done this exercise. You can take 5 minutes a day. What I would very much recommend is doing this right before you sell. So if you're going to do a live, or if you're going to hop on a call with somebody, if there's someone that you are wanting to talk about maybe joining your team, if you do network marketing, whatever, like if there's something where there will be an element of offering or a pitch or selling, try this exercise before. So drop into your body, give yourself 5 minutes. That's not that long. It will really change how you feel going into that call. It's going to give you presence, and it's going to release some of that fear. So then, all your wonderful feelings about what it is you have to offer will be able to come out more clearly, because they won't be blanketed by this fear that your body is carrying. So I'm just going to read through some of the comments. So use this type of strategy for calming down. Yeah, it's amazing for calming down. I've also done physical activity to release and work through fear. It works well if you have more time. Totally. I have a friend who due to things that have happened in her past, it's very hard for her to really sit still to release some of the body stuff. It's if you've had more trauma, it can be very, very challenging to do this. So for her, what's very comfortable for her is going jogging. So she goes, she doesn't think, because she is a huge thinker too. Like, we connect on this level. We're both total thinkers. She doesn't think. She just goes and runs. She goes and runs and feels amazing after. It's not just the endorphins. It's also getting into your present body, and releasing some of the stress and fear that's physically trapped in our bodies. So this will help you in so many areas of your life. But if you're struggling with selling in particular, this is an amazing, super powerful way to release that fear of selling. So instead of thinking it through, instead of journaling about it, these, again, all wonderful activities, and I do them and I lead people through them as well. But the body piece is often a piece that we forget about. We find it's less comfortable, so we don't do it. So I would encourage you to try this piece. It's often a missing link, and it's something that will help you amazingly. So after you do this, I would love to hear how that fear feeling, that idea of the fear of selling, how that changed. So did you move from one number to another number? How did it go for you? I'd love to hear your results from doing this. So there you go. This is something new for you, for some of you, a refresher or a reminder for other people. and I look forward to hearing how it helps you, because you guys have wonderful products, you have wonderful services, and the world deserves to see them. So take care. Have a wonderful day.